straight up, Vietnam is like one of the loudest, most obnoxious countries on planet Earth. You know, no disrespect, every country has its own little quirks going on, you know, that's fine. Before I came here, you know, all I knew about was the war, baguettes. When you look at the guidebooks and you ask people about the place, they tell you about all these wonderful things, and then they'll tell you about the things you want to, you know, look out for, you know, like the dangerous traffic and snakes and some of the crime in certain cities. But what they never tell you, well, they certainly never told me, was about karaoke. The noise you can get in this country is astonishing. The beeping of car and motorbike horns, you get that a lot. There's also the tannoys, either spouting propaganda or weird elevator music versions of ABBA songs. Peaceful. And then there's the karaoke. I mean, you know, a beautiful beach, even a beautiful section of paradise. You can go into a forest, you can go to a secluded beach, you can go to a lake, you can go to a mountainside. You will find karaoke there, and it'll be loud and it'll be terrible. It is the scourge of this society. You know how certain things get invented in certain countries, but then really take off in others, and also, you know, other countries will be really good at it. So, like, you know, you got rugby was invented in Britain, but the New Zealanders like really love it. They love it more than we do, because our number one sport is like football, their number one sport is rugby. And then you also got, you know, football itself, which you know, arguably people in Brazil really fucking love football and are really good at football. You know, I don't think any other sport competes with football in a country like Brazil. Karaoke, obviously, when it was created in Japan, you'd have no idea that one country would really love it so much that they take it to new levels of love. The difference between New Zealand's abilities at rugby and Brazil's abilities at football is that, you know, not that karaoke is something that can be measured by ability, I suppose, but if it were, you know, in terms of love, this country is like New Zealand. How much it loves rugby. In terms of ability, I don't know too much about rugby, but football, I suppose it'd be, in terms of ability, in football terms, San Marino. All I know is karaoke is serious business in this country. I knew how serious it was. You hear that, dog? Shut up. I knew how serious it was. Just from how, I mean, if you look at people's faces when they're singing it, you know it's some serious business. I can remember when I first arrived, and I was walked down a laneway and round the corner from where I was staying, and there was an old man sat with his grandson. Well, I assume it was his grandson, otherwise it was a weird situation. And they were just in the front room of their house with the doors wide open, and he was just blaring out karaoke whilst his grandson sat there staring at him like this, like he was just, I mean, this is a totally different culture. I mean, could you ever imagine being invited round to spend some time with your granddad and all he does is just sing karaoke at you full blast? I mean, I was staying next to a guy who had a restaurant that closed down, and he'd be singing karaoke on a few nights. I thought he was singing it with friends until I walked past one, right, when he was singing, and he was actually just sat in that bar, in that restaurant, on his own, singing karaoke. I have also seen a guy bring a massive speaker down to the beach, a huge speaker, plonk it down and sit and sing karaoke by himself, singing into the sea. I'm not sure why he's singing into the sea. I got a theory that perhaps because there's a lot of Chinese warships out in the South China Sea, that is some sort of tactic to scare them away from coming, because they didn't have karaoke when the Americans landed in Da Nang. Well, maybe they realise how terrible it is, and once the Chinese hear a little bit of karaoke blaring out into the sea, they're going to think twice about invading. I mean, it's a theory. What a bunch of cunts. I don't really need to tell you how detrimental this pandemic has been on economies across the world, and businesses, small, medium, even no large ones. They've been fine, haven't they? And even though Vietnam has done particularly well in combating COVID-19 with its very swift action, it still had adverse effects on a lot of businesses, especially in a touristy place like this in Da Nang, where there have been shops and restaurants that cater to certain nationalities, such as the Koreans and the Japanese. There's many establishments that have closed down. Countless businesses have closed down. Many people are struggling. Many towns are becoming quite ghostly. And yet, amongst all of this ghost town, you can walk down a street that is full of shut down businesses. But there's one business that will survive any economic crash. It is recession proof, and that's karaoke clubs. There is loads of them. Karaoke clubs. If there's a nuclear war, the only thing that will be left in this country will be cockroaches, rats, and karaoke bars. Trust me. It's kind of like if you've been to Thailand, there's a 7-Eleven every 2 meters. Or if you're in London, there's there's a Starbucks every 13.5 inches. Well, in Vietnam, every breath, every millimeter, there's a karaoke bar. Sometimes these places don't even look like they're open. Some of them I don't even think people go inside. I don't know what goes on in there. Some of them are a bit... But trust me, they're everywhere. And they are unstoppable. Now there is actually another reason for why these karaoke establishments are still open whilst other establishments crumble at the seams. Karaoke in this land is something completely different altogether in many ways than once. You may understand the concept of massage saunas and happy endings. Have you ever heard of a happy ending karaoke? Well, that is a thing. Now, these aren't things that I've seen with my very own eyes and think, in fact, I don't even know as a Johnny Foreign I'd be able to experience such odd delights. But luckily for you and me, I'm a man that knows people in low places. And I've obtained footage. Now, I'm not gonna put this footage in the video, obvious reasons. I'm not even gonna put it in to blur it out. Why? Just no. But I can give you a running commentary on this footage I've obtained. So, here we go. So as you can hear, obnoxious music. And there are two ladies here taking everything off. Oh wow, that was a close-up I was not expecting. Good to see naturally trimmed bush. So they're dancing around on tables, blah blah blah. I mean, that's not something you know, I haven't seen before. Girls getting naked and dancing on tables and bars and stuff. Except that it is totally illegal in this country. There are no strip clubs, there are no go-go bars, even pornography is outlawed here. So that's something. Here's another one. Now here you have a man with his top off, sat on a leather sofa, gaudy interior, whilst the girl with what I can only describe as a pancake batty rubs her baby maker in his face. Oh well, there's his penis. Okay, so she sat on him and his penis is sort of coming up the middle but not penetrating, so that's nice. This is all in karaoke establishments, but you haven't heard any actual karaoke going on yet, have you? Well, don't worry about that. So right now there is a older gentleman stood at a bar whilst the girl pipes and thoroughly pounds his plonker towards her face whilst the girl is walking around singing karaoke really badly, and then he grabs her and pulls her towards him while she's singing, molests her whilst he is still being whacked off and piped by this naked girl on the floor, and they are surrounded by, well, it looks like couples, but then they all might be, you know, hoes with patrons. I don't really know. I don't know what. Oh dear. Oh yes, he is gay. Right. I don't know if getting sucked. I don't know if getting oral sex in front of a room full of people whilst a girl walks around and sings out of tune karaoke is an experience that I ever want to have.
Life? Wow, life is a big topic. Simple life, travel life.
Life as I see it.
Life's travel.
That's a niche topic.
How long you live in
It's me.
Da Nang?
Oh,
Since
Your life.
January last year.
You hear that? Nothing. Oh, except them twats. You know, I did have some big ideas for the rest of this video and for more content involved, but unfortunately, shut up though. Unfortunately, as per usual, Bat Sniffles has resurfaced in the city of Da Nang, which means we are entering our 4th lockdown. I was going to show you more about the karaoke battles that they have on the beach. Yeah, that's right, they have karaoke battles. Sound clashes. You know a sound clash, when they've got like 2 big speaker rigs and there's old Jamaicans playing rhythms going, hear me now upon the river, upon the bank, what do I know? You know, it's like that, but with terrible, monotonous ballads that have the same 4 notes. But what he lacks in talent, he makes up for in passion. There's a lot of passion. This is karaoke battles, my friend. They're everywhere. This is what you find all up and down the beach. Karaoke battles. Yeah, there's one down there. Oh my god, there's one down there too. What the? Oh my god, there's them. And then just down there, past the umbrellas, there's one there. So we got 3 awful sound systems going on. I've learnt many things. One is to perhaps to come to the beach at night with a knitting needle and stab my ears in. I was also going to visit one of the karaoke establishments. I'd managed to make a connection. We were going to go sing a little session inside there. Not one of the weird ones. Well, I think it's not one of the weird ones. I'm not entirely sure, to be honest with you. I might be getting lured in to get absolutely fleeced. But that was going to happen. And I also had the intention of renting out a massive speaker and plonking it on the beach and singing Closer by Nine Inch Nails. These things should not be happening because we're in lockdown. But with every cloud there is a silver lining. Because listen, you can hear the traffic, the dogs, a few loud drunk men, but no karaoke. That's right. Karaoke is banned during these times of lockdown. Well, they say banned. I mean, even though every bar and restaurant has been completely locked down and prevented from serving patrons, already people have been arrested for frequenting a karaoke establishment illegally. And I guarantee, out of all the thousands of karaoke establishments across this city, most of them probably have drunk men in there singing at the top of their voices, some getting piped by young sex slaves, some not. You see, when I first came here, it was during the first lockdown. I used to go sit on the beach at night. It's a beautiful beach with lovely waves rolling in. It was a very peaceful experience. I was like, wow, where else would you want to be in the world except this beautiful beach as the sea rolled in? Peaceful and serene every night was, as I spent my time contemplating life on the beach. And then as people got less sketchy about congregating in public again and decided that they were okay to come outside once more, out they came, and the speakers came, and the kids came, and all the karaoke came. Yes, the serene me time at the beach was destroyed by karaoke. So to be honest with you, this lockdown has brought, like every lockdown brings, peace from karaoke. And for that, I'm eternally grateful to the Chinese and their bioweapons. But here lies the problem. In a nation that loves karaoke so much, I think businesses going under and people's livelihoods being destroyed and the kids not being able to get their education, all these factors are going to affect people immensely. But nothing affects them as much as not being able to shout out karaoke in their living room at their grandchildren. That will take its toll. And the withdrawals from karaoke might be 10 times worse than what it would be for a heroin addict. So consider that. And for a country that's really unified behind things, they really don't give too much of a shit about other people at times. But hey, different strokes for different folks. This is the end, but by no means is this the end. I mean, with those other ideas, shit. There's gonna be a sequel, and it'll be on my beautiful website. Go check it out.